Um, anyway, I was there for, some months, and war broke out. And Franny was getting restless. I was certainly getting restless. My original arrangements, it wasn't really contract, it was a tacit agreement that I'd be down there for a minimum of a year, preferably 2 years, and then would have a sabbatical, 3 months leave, and would be brought back to Canada, and then would go back again for another 2-year stint. Well, one morning I was at my desk. I was talking to a notorious power thief, and I still hadn't enough mastery of Spanish to get along with him by myself. So my secretary, who is perfectly bilingual, was standing by acting as interpreter, when the office boy dropped a cablegram on my desk. Well, the rule always is interrupt whatever you're doing and read a cablegram. So I excused myself and I opened the cable, and it was from my fiancée, and it read somewhat as follows: "Come home immediately. No reason why we cannot be married next week. Large bank account does not mean security. Expect you on Tuesday. Love, Francis Earl. Wartime, full name required." So I excused myself from that interview was over, and I walked into Morley Taylor, the general manager's office, and I dropped my cablegram in front of him, and I says, "Morley, what would you do if you received this?" And he read it, and he leaned back in his tilting chair, and he looked at the ceiling, and then he looked straight at me, and he says, "Gay, I guess if I got a cable like that, I'd go." I said, "Well, I'm going." This was a Thursday? Yeah, it was late in the week anyway. And I was on the next clipper to Miami. And I had cabled back to Fran. Now, Fran's dad had no idea that Fran and a friend of hers had cooked this up and sent it to me. So I guess it was a Sunday morning, and a motorcycle arrived at the Earl door with the delivery of a cable. Dad Earl, thinking this is an original cable from Gay, Fran knowing that it was a reply to her cable to me. My cable read something as follows: get your passport, see your doctor about necessary shots, contact Putnam at Montreal Engineering with respect to other documentation requirements, get visa from Venezuela consul. I don't think they had an ambassador there. No, consul. And a little bit of love and then signed Galen Duncan. Well, Franny read it and then handed it over to her daddy at breakfast, and Daddy at breakfast was usually pretty stern, pretty quiet, pretty taciturn. He read this over and then reread it, and according to Fran, a little bit of admiration showed in him, because he sure figured that Gay Duncan was a man of action. Not knowing at all, and he went to his grave without knowing, that Fran had initiated this flurry of activity. Well, I had to change planes off the Clipper at Miami, and then kind of a milk run up to New York, and then changed in New York again to another plane. I finally got to Montreal after, I don't know, 36 hours of flying, it seemed. And by golly, we were married the following Tuesday. And Fran came down with me and lived with me in Venezuela for another 6 months, until I finally resigned, fed up with some of the disagreeable aspects of the job down there.
Yeah, sure.
Most particularly when I found a company inside the company that was very difficult to fight. But
you were shot at, weren't you?
no.
I thought I recall reading in your diary that the report you wrote.
Well, I'll come to that in a moment, but in any event, we'd like to say that we honeymooned in the Caribbean, and we wintered in South America. But some aspects of that were great fun. Mom got involved with teaching in one of the oil companies compounds. We became members of the Caribbean Club, which is just a beautiful club. We lived with a very, very nice couple called the McVeighs in a house that was owned by the chief Nazi organizer for Venezuela. Well, war was underway, but this was the so-called Boer War. There was absolutely nothing happening, except the odd sinking of a ship and the odd skirmish here and there. And certainly in the Caribbean, all German shipping had scurried into the safe haven and anchored just offside a German-owned nail manufacturing plant on the docks of on the dock sides of Maracaibo. Was a German refugee ship. The German community had gathered together inside the German school, and because their incomes had been cut off, and so they formed themselves into a kind of a I don't know what the right word is. What do the Jews have their